Good morning, everyone. This is Sage, live from the Kalkine TV studios in Sydney, and you are watching the opening bell. On Wednesday, the Australian market closed the session on a disappointing note. The benchmark index witnessed a heavy selling pressure, dragging the index down by almost 1.5%. However, towards the closing, the ASX 200 rebounded from the lower levels, finally closing 0.29% down at 6,997.5. Following the US market cues, ASX 200 rose 0.23% at the open to 7,013 levels. And looking at major newsmakers, Centuria Industrial REIT reaffirmed financial year 2021 FFO guidance of no less than 17.6 cents per unit, while financial year 21 year-to-date acquisitions amounted to $784.2 million. AGL Energy Limited has today announced that its Managing Director and CEO, Brett Redman, has resigned after almost 15 years with the company, including the past 2.5 years as CEO. AGL's current chairman, Graham Hunt, has been appointed interim Managing Director and CEO effective immediately and will step down as the chairman. The board agreed alternative leadership agreements were appropriate to facilitate proposed structural separation. Brambles Limited expected half year or second half financial year 2021 to benefit from higher margins in its pallets business for the financial year 2021. Brambles sees dividend payout ratios between 45% to 60%. Australian pharmaceutical industries announced today for the half-year ending 28 February 2021 underlying EBIT was $32.0 million, down 26.5% on the PCP. The underlying NPAT was $17.7 million, down 30.3% on the PCP. Split-it Payments Limited, a global payment technology company, today launches Split-it Plus, a new payment gateway designed exclusively for instalment payments. Following a successful beta base, Split-it Plus is available now to merchants across the US, with a wider global rollout expected to commence in the second half of 2021. The news comes a day after Split-it confirmed acceleration in growth across all key operating metrics during the first quarter. Whisper has reported a productive March quarter with strong growth in ARR, quarterly cash receipts and customer numbers compared to the same period last year. Woodside Petroleum reported that sales revenue in the first quarter rose 22% compared with the last 3 months of 2020 on the back of higher realised prices for all products. And meanwhile, Santos had delivered another strong quarter of production and sales volumes and strong free cash flow as the business benefited from higher commodity prices and a low free cash flow break-even oil price. This was despite the 3-month lag in oil-linked LNG prices, which should see stronger prices in the second quarter. 3D mapping business Pointera has reported an operating cash profit of $211,000 on record monthly sales of $1.37 million for the quarter ending March 31st, 2021, as at the period end it had cash on hand of $5.1 million. And moving on to the global market updates. World equity markets rose on Wednesday as the US and European markets bounced back from large drops. However, the concern over rising cases in Latin America, likely restrictions in Japan, and record coronavirus infections in India will be a hurdle for the global economic recovery that has weighed on investors' sentiment. The S&P 500, Dow Jones Industrial Average and Nasdaq Composite Index closed higher on Wednesday, April 21st, after declining for 2 consecutive days. On Wall Street, the Dow Jones rose 0.93%, 34,137.31. The S&P 500 gained 0.93% to 4,173.42. The Nasdaq Composite was up by 163.95 points, or 1.19%, to 13,950.22. The Russell 2000 index of small cap stocks gained 2.4% in its biggest single-day advance since March the 1st. A hefty 7% drop in Netflix weighed on the Nasdaq, but indices bounced back from their largest declines in a month. Almost all the sectors rallied on Wednesday, with several companies reporting robust results. Netflix shares plunged over 7% after the company's first quarter subscriber growth fell below estimates. The company's total subscriber count by the end of the quarter totaled 207.64 million, missing its forecast of 210 million subscribers. However, Netflix's 24% year-over-year growth in revenue boosted its net income during the quarter to US $1.71 billion, up 141%. Consumer companies including Chipotle Mexican Grill and Las Vegas Sands are scheduled to report their first quarter earnings today after the market close. In the currency markets, the US dollar fell and traded in a tight range throughout the session on Wednesday, not far from the more than 6-week low hit intraday on Tuesday. The dollar index fell 0.111%, with the Australian dollar rising 0.38% to 0.7751. And now let's glance at the bond yield update. The US Treasury yields were little changed and had a range-bound session even after an auction of 20-year bonds depicted robust demand. This consolidation may persist until the next week, when a few more data releases are scheduled, along with Federal Reserve meetings. The benchmark 10-year notes rose 2.32 in price to yield 1.5573% from 1.562% late on Tuesday. In the currency markets, the dollar dipped and was in a tight range throughout the session, not far from the more than 6-week low hit on the intraday on Tuesday. The dollar index fell 0.111%, with the euro up 0.02% to 1.2035. The Japanese yen strengthened 0.03% versus the greenback at 108.06 per dollar, while sterling was last trading at 1.3927, down 0.06% on the day. And now, finally, let's have a look at the commodity updates. The WTI crude fell 2.49% to US $61.11 per barrel, while Brent crude was at US $65.07, down 2.25% on Wednesday. All prices were weighed by concerns that surging COVID-19 cases in India will drive down fuel demand in the world's third biggest oil importer, and by a surprise build in US stockpiles. Spot gold rose 0.9% to US $1,794.03 an ounce, while silver gained 2.62% to US $26.55 an ounce. And that's all for now, but do stay tuned for more live updates on Kalkine TV across economy, markets and sectors. And this is Sage, signing off.